Hello, dear friends, and welcome to the International Fabtalks. It's really a beautiful way to bond and connect with different people across the world. There are several people who are always contributing their very best in different fields. And I love people when they contribute to the lives of others to transform the inner being of that person, the thoughts, the views, their emotional well-being is of more importance. I really give importance to those type of individuals who want to see a better version of you. They have identified who they are. They have known their inner strengths. They want you to find your inner strengths. They want you to understand the real meaning of life. The real meaning of life, friends, is to live and let live. And today we have a wonderful friend who's joining us all the way from Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, India. He's Mr. Arjuun Sahay, a counseling psychologist focusing on bringing a beautiful balance in this world for everyone. We'll get to know more about him and what work he does and how he inspires the people in his way. Sir, welcome to the session and thank you for being a part of the International Fab Talks. First of all, a very big thank you for accepting the invitation.
And I'm really obliged and thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here today and especially on this beautiful platform. I saw some of your videos and I'm really grateful the great work that you do with all the people, getting so much information out there. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being very polite. You're a true gentleman. Thank you so much and stay blessed. My dear friends, have you observed what is the specialty of this celebrity today? Like all other celebrities, he is egoless. Once you know that ego is overtaking your life, you will reach nowhere. You have to be in that space or that space where the ego is skilled within you and you bond with people across the world. You start treating your fellow human beings with dignity and respect. And here is Arjun sir, who's sharing the space with us. And to add to that, I would like to share more about sir. He is the founder of Unique Counseling Services. I repeat that. He is the founder of Unique Counseling Services, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, and a psychologist by profession, as I earlier mentioned. Apart from that, he would love to connect and bond with different kinds of people. He would like to give his very best, as I earlier mentioned. He feels that counseling is really doing a great job by saving lives at the right time. We have seen many of the rich, the poor, students, youngsters, and the middle-aged as well, senior citizens, want to give up on life easily. If you face a problem, you think, yes, death is the only solution. But no, we have wonderful people like Arjun sir who saves us at the right time. So let's get to know more about sir. I'll keep all of that a secret. I will not share anything more. We'll get it out from sir. Sir, over to you. आप अपने बारे में share करनी है हमारे साथ. I have not shared much of your profile. So we come to you. We start with the main round of the interview. Dear friends, join me. Yes. हम जानना चाहते हैं कि भाई Mr. Arjun कौन है? Who is the real Arjun?
Okay, so that's a beautiful question. जिस तरह से आपने उसे put किया है कि real Arjun. Most of the time, it is me who is asking everyone कि tell me about yourself and how are you feeling. जो आप लोग एक psychologist के साथ usually associate करते हैं. So the thing is that I am basically, if I describe myself, I'll say just a curious person. Okay. And I've been always curious about everything, like how do things work and how do when I had toys, I used to open them up and try to understand that how is this toy working or why is this sound, where is this sound coming from? Now, as I have grown older, I think I've become that same person with just people, and I'm trying to open up their brain and trying to understand how they work or how do they understand particular things. Mostly, I try to work with people, understanding their feelings, their emotions, how they work with their things, what patterns they are following, and all of that. So, simply if I tell about myself, it would be a curious person, way into all the things. Like he's just observant and curious about everything. Just tell me a topic, and I'll be fascinated to know about you and I'll listen to you.
Yes, that's the beauty of being a psychologist. That is the beauty of being a real human being in this universe. Able to really understand the inner working of how individuals react to different situations, how to enable them to be better versions of themselves. I'm really happy the way you said as a kid also you mentioned something, right? So let's tell you this. Dear sir, what inspired you into this beautiful field called as psychology? आपको क्यों लगा कि मैं इस फील्ड में आऊं?
Yeah,
ऐसा
there
क्या
is a
खास बात
this
थी?
funny story I would like to tell you that nothing inspired me to get into psychology. I would say that this was more of a destined thing. Okay. So previous to this, I was working as a lawyer and being all that in that black suit and going to courts and doing everything. I was like doing that, but I was never enjoying that whole scenario. And slowly, as I was getting more and more distant from the career that I was doing, I really found the stories that everybody told me, even when I was doing law, all the stories that people came up with, that really fascinated me. So after some time, I thought that I would do something else, and I really felt like I wanted to be a writer. Unfortunately, I failed as a writer. So uh, things as it happened, a friend of mine told me that there is this course in psychology, and I had just some great mentors. They pushed me to follow up with the masters and do all the training which is required. And I would say that sometimes destiny plays a big part in where you are. So I would not just say that it was my hard work or someone really inspired me. It was all of my teachers, my professors, they pushed me to a certain place and they got me interested in this. And I would say that that just got me here.
That's really nice. That's a beautiful calling. And yes,
Hmm.
it's a beautiful place to be here, sir. That's very true. Now, if I say, is it being a lawyer? Is it being a psychologist? Is it being an author? Which one gives you immense satisfaction? I'm sure you're going to say being a psychologist, right?
No, I will say talking to people,
Oh,
like communicating with people right now, like I'm just talking to you. This hour itself would be this thing that I enjoy. It doesn't have to be that I have to get anything out of it.
very
It
true.
is just communicating with people because, see, think about it. Every great discovery which has been done, every wrong thing which has been done is done by a human only. And they have certain stories behind it. And think about it. If I write a book, it would be just one story about one character. If I help someone, it would be that one character. But when I'm just talking to people, it is like every person has a story, and I enjoy those stories. And trust me, I'm like really into stories.
That's
So
really
please tell
nice.
me when I just go on into a rant about something, just tell me that ki ज़्यादा हो गया, वापस आ जाओ.
जी, जी, जी. That's very nice, sir. Thank you for sharing. Much appreciated. Getting to know people, getting to know
Hmm,
about their lives, helping them at the right time really makes us feel good too as
hmm,
psychologists. That's really nice. And in fact, all the parents out there too should have this quality within them. है ना
hmm.
सर? कि भी अपने बच्चों की जो स्टोरीज है, अपने के बच्चों की जो बातें हैं, थोड़ा सा वक्त दे के सुनना है. Not to just brush them away. Yeah, I'm in a hurry.
Hmm.
Maybe we'll talk afterwards.
Definitely.
To give them some time. Your children, they will feel good too.
Yeah.
So,
Patience is one thing that is really an important thing for a psychologist. Every time any person that comes to you, they have friends, they have family with them, but what mostly happens is when they talk, the other person has already made up their mind and they reply in a certain way. And it often comes out as a judgment. But when you come to a therapist or a psychologist, they are patient with you. They try to ask you more questions about why did you feel that way, or why did it happen, whatever like the thing might be. Even the simplest thing as you might be upset over something like being late, and when the other person just brushes it off, like just you said that key, when you're talking to a kid also, if you're patient with them, you will just notice the beauty with what their stories are, how imaginative they are, and there is beauty in everything. You just need to be observant and a little bit patient to understand that.
yes.
Yes.
Thank you, sir, for sharing. And that's very true. If you're patient with all the people around you, definitely you get to learn a lot. and make them feel good too. That's really nice. I like the calmness with which you're sharing, sir. There's a lot of calmness within you and a lot of wisdom too at this young age. Much appreciated. Because I've seen many of the youngsters being very like fast, impulsive, but you're a very thought-provoking person. Like you're giving your speech, you're giving your words, a good thought, and then presenting it. That's you're conscious of what you're sharing in the right way. Yes.
Let me just share one antidote which might help people also if anybody hears this. Just understand this thing that your psyche or your mind, it doesn't understand all the words that you're saying. It usually understands the way you talk about yourself or the way you uh, say things. Like just you notice this that I talk very calmly. You will notice that a person who is really anxious, they will talk in a very quick fashion. They would just want to vomit everything out. And the reason for that is that somewhere their body is linked being agitated and they just want to get out of that agitation. So I just give this thing, I tell this to my clients also. Think of your mind as a dog. You whatever you say, if you say it very kindly, like you're talking to a kid in a very friendly manner, you automatically relax your immune system, you relax your nervous system, and that helps a lot in stress and anxiety. This really helps a lot. So it's like just like brushing your chest and just calmly saying it's so going to be okay. सब बढ़िया है, ठीक हो सकता है, like we saw that in the movie All Is Well, but it has to be with a conviction, compassion, and very kindly.
Yes, sir. सब ठीक है, सब बढ़िया है. All is well. All is well. We have to say, very true. Keep telling it to yourself. You really feel good.
But
Yes,
with a lot of compassion.
very true.
Hmm.
Arjun sir, we'd like to know about your childhood. Like,
Okay.
how were you as a little child? The boy between 10 years.
What you will I heard this from few of my relatives that I was an old soul, and somewhere I was really naughty also. So I would just keep on being curious. If I tell you now, I used to live on a first floor, and my mind would work like कि if I throw this, what would happen? Why would this thing make a different noise and this would make a different noise? I would want to like tie a rope and just go from that like rope scaling and everything. I used to like tear off papers and make different type of planes and throw it from the terrace. So I would say quite a destructive person, but always with a curiosity as to why things work. Like even when kids throw plane, now my thing was like, why did this plane flew for a longer distance than this plane? So there was tweaking and things always going around in my mind. And other than that, I was always a shy person and a introverted person, which I still am. Most people don't believe it because I'm quite outspoken. But if anybody who knows me is they wouldn't understand that this kid would always stay alone, playing with his own things, doing his own thing. And right now also I am kind of a similar person. Leave me alone, I don't have any problems. I'm totally calm with that.
That's really nice. I somehow resonate with you. You leave me alone and I'm totally fine. I'm okay. I can manage myself. I keep myself busy. I really can get what you're sharing. And even I'm too an introvert. At the right time, I am an extrovert as well. To the right
Exactly.
kind of people, I open up and I love to be an introvert.
Exactly.
It's really nice. I could somehow relate to that, sir. Very nice. So, any incident you remember about the childhood days of yours? Any one
Hmm.
special incident which is very fresh in your mind?
See, I have lived a lot of mindful life. Okay. So, okay, think of it in this way. I'll tell you. If this is a memory, if this is a memory with you, okay, if I go through this again and again, this will become a very fresh memory in my mind. But if this is not relevant to me, why would I go through it again and again? Right? So for my childhood, I would just say that I have few good memories, like I was being naughty and everything, but nothing as significant that would I say, ki, oh, this really happened or something like that happened. Everything is a learning. If you just go through it, learn it, your brain is not going to remember things. It only remembers what you need for the current moment. So if anybody is like, I will say, stuck in any place in their life, I would ask them, why are you going through that memory over and over again? Your brain is going to think this is such an important event. I need to keep it in this temporary files. Always show them, कि भैया ये क्या हुआ था. Like, and I don't need those memories. So I am like, कि हुआ ठीक है, चलो खत्म, move away, be in the moment. That is more important. But if you really ask, I would say that I played a lot. I was always playing and doing something. I used to sketch or I used to draw once. Like I was not a good student, I would say. I was mostly into all these things, any other thing other than studying. So I would just like create arrow modeling planes, or I would do something like create art on the wall. I just had big figures of cartoons made on the wall. Let's do something like that.
Yes,
Other than that, I don't remember much.
that's really nice. Thank you for sharing.
Hmm.
In fact, one of the celebrities who were here on the was here on the international Fab Talks about a month ago. She recalled her childhood memories and she laughed her heart out.
Hmm.
There was a well in
Hmm.
her village, and she was staying with her grandmother. So
Hmm.
she and her little friends, they dropped a big stone into the well,
Hmm.
and it made a big sound, a splash or something, and a sound. Her grandmother ran out of the kitchen and came to that spot.
Hmm.
And her friends told her grandmother that her granddaughter jumped into the well
Hmm.
because she got some scolding or something.
Yeah.
So she recalled that. But actually, this girl was hiding behind the trees or something there. So her
Hmm.
grandmother started crying, and then she came in front of her grandmother. And then her grandmother hugged her. And after that, she got the good beating
The
from her.
thrashing.
You do it again. So that was the one incident she shared. I remember that now.
Hmm.
I recall that now. So yes, there
Hmm.
will be beautiful incidents like that. So, what
Hmm.
about your writing spree? Like what type
Okay.
of content you began to write? तो लिखने का जो वो फीलिंग हम सब में, इवन आई डू लव टू राइट, अभी भी जिंदा है वो फीलिंग कि मैं हम भी कुछ लिखे. तो आपको ये लिखने का वो जो स्टार्ट कब हुआ, तो किस चीज पर लिखना चाह रहे थे? इज इट एन ऑटोबायोग्राफी और इज इट अबाउट सेल्फ डेवलपमेंट और सम अदर टॉपिक?
I would say that when I started writing, it was just this ego of mine, which I wanted to satisfy. And you I used to say that I want to leave a legacy or something like that. It was quite conceited view. I was really egoistic person back then. And during that time, I started off with stories that I went through, or the things that I lived through about other people also. But soon I realized that these things are not really the things I resonate with. But still, just I didn't care so much. I just wanted to be an author. So I kept on writing chapters after chapters, and like it was a romantic thing, or one was about a person going through the harshest time but would never say anything. How would that person, matlab, like I wanted to get inside the head of that person. So there were multiple stories. Plus, I started a blog in which I used to write some poems and stories, short stories, basically about certain incidents that I went through. Those were all.
You know one thing, sir, what I see in you, there's still a lot of potential in you to be a great writer. Do not give up. There are many publication houses who are encouraging young writers and encouraging a lot of writing work, original content. So I'm sure you will make a great writer very soon. And trust me, you take this from me and you'll say, ma'am, yes. And tomorrow you'll get a book, like maybe not tomorrow, in the near future. You will say, yeah, ma'am, this is my book. And then I have, written something and it has been published. So you have a lot of potential because you have deep thoughts. So when you have deep thoughts, you can put them on pen and paper and let others also read it, and it will really be beautiful.
I definitely would like to do that. Right now, I do think I would want to write something which can help people counsel better, or maybe a self-help book, something in that direction, because I feel all the content that is being put out these days regarding self-help and hustle culture, I don't believe in that. I would rather write something about being of a person who doesn't believe their thoughts to be real. So most of us are not reaching their potential because they keep living in their head most of the time, going through all the things that happen, their thoughts, their feelings, and everything. So I know few things that like observed in a lot of people, and I've observed in the people who are always in their head and the people who are not in their head. And personally observed this also, that those who don't live in their head perform even the smallest tasks better than those who are always thinking or looking into their thoughts. So something in that direction I would definitely want to write.
Yes, sir. That's really nice. And I shall be looking forward for that beautiful book. And of course, our audience too, you should also be looking forward to books like these that are innovative and make you understand the real meaning of life as to where you are, a great thinker or a person filled with empathy. Yes. Yes. So either, they say, um, take your heart, but I don't know, some there's a type of a proverb, wherever
Mm,
you go, take your brain, but don't forget to take your heart or something. They say that, like
mm,
something. Yes, sir. So that's really nice for sharing all of that. Looking forward to
mm,
that bloom where you would really bloom as a writer. You're already one, and you will just bloom in a matter of few days. Because I see a lot of potential. The way
mm,
you talk, the way you treat others, the way you
mm,
respect others, all of this should be, documented and shared. Your experiences that the youth should learn from you.
mm.
That's what I
Oh,
feel.
I'm really grateful for those kind words, and I feel obliged right now for so much appreciation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. And same to you, sir. Thank you very much. Dear sir,
Hmm.
how you would want the people of the world to remember Arjun, sir?
This might make you feel a little bit uneasy, but I don't want people to remember me.
But I would like to remember you because, see, we want to remember people like you who are polite when they speak to others. And
Okay,
then
I'll
you're already
say.
contributing to the world in a positive way. No, so we have
Hmm.
to remember people like you, right?
Okay, I'll say it in a different way. So, whenever you say you want to remember someone, they kind of want that you did something great and that's how you want to be remembered. I am just a cog, or I will just say I was that person in someone's life who needed to say certain things at that moment of time, nothing more than that. I am not someone who is special. I'm not someone who is great. I who knows everything, nothing like that. If somebody comes to me, I just say the thing they really need to hear in that moment, nothing more than that. Other than that, I don't want to leave a legacy. I don't want anything that people should think of me as this great person. Nahin. I know I have a lot of flaws. If I have done something good, I have done a lot of bad things also. So there's nothing like a great person. So nothing like that. If you forget me even after this, I have no problem. I am content with myself.
Oh, nice. What a simple person. That's really very nice. But so people will remember you because you made them feel good. You made them feel, good in your presence. Even if it is one single person, if they remember us and pass on that message, yes, this person, so and so person was good to me. He made me feel good or she made me feel good. That's a beautiful way to be, remembered in the hearts and minds of people. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so if you want to remember the person who always smiled, khatam.
J, sir. Very nice. You're a very simple person. And you, as you said, I have flaws. All of us have flaws, including me too. And they say this. There's a beautiful quotation. Every saint had a past, and every sinner has a future.
Definitely.
Like that. So there's no perfect people. There are no perfect people in the world.
Yeah,
We're all
even the
learning that.
story of Angulimal, that bandit who used to collect fingers, became a saint, and the king Buddha, the Siddharth. who became Buddha later on. So yeah, everybody has like past, but it is more about being in the moment and doing the best thing you can do, because everything is more of a perception. You can justify being good, you can justify being bad, but basically your heart knows what you're doing. So that's why I kind of know that I'm not a perfect person. So I'm not never going to say कि नहीं मैं बहुत महान हूँ, नहीं मैं बिल्कुल नहीं हूँ, मुझे पता है मैं क्या हूँ.
How nice. That's being very humble to know who
Hmm,
you are. That's very nice. I
hmm,
appreciate that. You are very down to earth, very practical
hmm.
and humble too. Sir, मूवीज के बारे में बात करेंगे. आपका सबसे फेवरेट मूवी कौन सा है? और इस विषय पर रहना कि भाई साइकोलॉजिकल टच रहना है उसमें और अच्छी
Hmm.
सोशल मैसेज भी वहां से मिलनी है हमको. कैन यू शेयर एनी नेम ऑफ द of your
Okay,
choice?
the thing is, let's say that any entertainment, any media has a way of inspiring us, okay? Has a way of making us feel things, okay? So I have told many authors and many artists this one thing: if you can make a person feel something, they are going to listen to you. Okay. So why I say this is because when you watch a movie, you are able to relate with the character. And when you are able to relate with a character, you kind of want to know what happened to them. How did their journey end? What happened with the actions did they take? Okay. So all media, I would say, even the reels to the movies, everything has a great like insight about things. But I am more of a anime watcher, if you know Japanese animation. So I watch a lot of anime, and they have the deepest messages. They kind of focus on meaning of life. And like other than that, I watch a lot of Hollywood movies, foreign movies, Indian movies also. Like I have been called a lot of times and compared to Dr. Shakir in Dear Zindagi. So I like that movie. It was a nice movie. Other than that, if I really see any movie which leaves me with a question or which makes me want to think, I like that movie. If a movie is just like entertainment, I'll be like enjoying that movie for that moment. But if any movie gives me any message or any, it makes me want to think about it after the movie ends, that movie is great for me.
A beautiful message at the end which you shared. A
Hmm.
movie should make you think when you go home on the way. Why did it
Yeah,
happen? What happened? What can we do to rectify this? And how
exactly.
can we stop all of this? How could we also be great people as a social worker, as a leader, maybe, or just
Exactly.
as a great human being?
Hmm.
So that keeps you thinking, make you a
Yes,
great thinker.
exactly.
I really like that.
Hmm.
So now you are busy with your work, counseling people. Do
Hmm.
you ever get time for yourself to jet off on a vacation and go to some place? And if yes, which is that place you'd love to go or which you've been to?
Okay, so there are a lot of caveats here. Usually, what happens, I am an introvert, I'm like happy being in my room. But it is also, I also know that key I need to get out. I need to meet people, I need to see new things. So I have few friends who are like they really want to go out and they enjoy things. And also my wife, I have a thing that I know that I have to take her out, like show her around. And sometimes I do feel that I don't get out much, but I like Goa as a place. And other than that, I would say Himachal is a great place to be. It is about any place where there is beauty. That is a place that I'm going to like. I don't want to like interact a lot or do a lot of fun, like things like going to parties and everything. I don't like that much. But any place where there's beauty, I can just sit there, enjoy things, be mindful. That is a good place. So Goa and Himachal, these are the two places I would say.
Yes, sir. That's really nice for sharing all of that. Thank you very much.
Hmm.
Being mindful of no matter where you are, and especially in
Hmm.
a calm environment, that gives a lot of happiness. So
Exactly.
the question here is now, would you like to relocate to any country if given a chance? If that was the case, if you're given a chance to relocate to some other country, which country you would love to choose?
See, the country hardly matters. It is the people you live with. So, if given a chance, if my family wants to go somewhere, I'll go along with them.
Oh,
मुझे तो उनके साथ ही रहना है. It's not like that I want to live in a place that will give me a lot of new things. Every place is the same. Every place there is going to be people, and every place there is going to be some problems. So if I move to either US, there will be some problems. If I move to Canada, there will be some problems. So it's like I hardly want to move anywhere, but in case in the future there are circumstances where it makes me want to move, I'll be happy, but my family should be there.
oh, sweet. That's really nice. And you've
Mm,
given a logical answer to that. That's the way
mm,
you answered that made sense.
mm,
No matter which place you are, which country you are, you have to connect with people. And any
mm,
country you are in, there will be something or the other you have to face all the ups and downs. There's no
exactly.
country that's going to give you all the peace and joy in the world.
Mm.
It's just only
It
it's
is a
only one thing in
fallacy
our
of a
head. If I
mind.
go to this
Yeah.
country, I'm going to be fine. And
Mm,
it's a wrong concept. No matter
mm,
where you are, you have to be happy here within. Right?
exactly.
Yes, sir. And I like this. Wherever I go, if wherever my family goes, I am with them.
Mm,
I like
yeah.
this. A beautiful way to share. Lots of love to your family from the International Fab Talks and to all your friends and the people who
Thank
are
you.
connected with you, sir. So, what is that one thing that you love about yourself? This is Arjun, and I like myself because I identify myself, my inner strength. This is my inner strength. Before others could see that, you have already seen that in you. Who is the real you and why you love yourself? Real you answered, but why do you love yourself and admire yourself?
Okay, so when I say that I love myself, there are basically everything that I can think about is good. But one thing which I have seen mostly in me, and it is a very rare commodity, it is that whatever happens, I will deal with it. This is one of my beliefs. Whatever might happen. And I've seen that in my life that I've gone through the worst, I've gone through the best. I have just dealt with it. So this quality, if I see in someone else, I'll be like, hey, kudos, man, you know what you're doing. But this is one thing I have, which I would say I rarely see in others.
A victory sign to you. That's the meaning of life, That's beautiful because even I do that. We've all been through good times and the bad times, the best and the worst. But we know we could deal with any situation that comes in, ready for it.
Mm.
No matter what comes, we are ready to take on life in all its shapes and all its colors and everything. So then that when you're ready to face life, you become more stronger. Really
Even this
nice.
interview, when you asked me, I was like, हाँ, I just say yes to everything. Like, you do want to do something? Yes. We'll देख लेंगे बाद में जैसा करना है. इतना सोचना ही नहीं होता. It's like your brain knows how to do everything. The more you think about things, the more you panic, the more you get anxious. That's why I don't think. And that's why I'm like sitting here talking to you. It's just like a normal conversation. Why to think so much?
True, sir. Very true. That's really nice. So now we come down to something like connected with students.
Mhm.
We'll go down to students. We've seen students being underperformers or
Mhm.
being absent to school
Mhm.
or becoming antisocial,
Mhm.
the lack of parental care or the lack of the teacher's support.
Mhm.
Who would like who is the real culprit here? If a child is not performing well, if a child is not up to the mark, like at least
Mhm.
an average student, the child has to be, not to be a
Mhm.
topper, at least average,
Mhm.
marks he should be able to get. And
Mhm.
even if the child is not able to perform in at least at the average level, so who are we to blame? Are we to blame the parents? Are we to blame the
See,
school
the
management,
blame
the
word,
teachers?
I wouldn't use the blame word. Okay. The thing is, when we blame something, basically we ignore a lot of other things that happen. Okay. If a child is not performing, there are so many things that are happening at the same time. It is not like physically or humanly possible that every person can get the best of education. Uh, One thing which we call a nominal curve, which goes like this and comes down. It is also called that like there is a huge chunk of people who will be average. There will be outliers here and there. Okay. So what we need to understand that some people will not perform even if they get the best. Some people will perform even if they get the best. But most of the population will come in the middle. Okay. So the thing is that if we say we need to figure out what is happening, first of all, we have to use a method of understanding what is the society that is feeling the child. Once the society is done, basically when I talk about society, I'll say the schooling system. Okay, the travel to the school, the like the people around, the community that you have, how much emphasis on education. Like suppose if we talk about Korea, South Korea, they have a 98% education rate. Okay, so their education is a vital thing. Okay, whereas if you make education a thing which is not necessary, you want like you focus more on earning money, then how would the kid even make that studying as a priority for them? Okay, so same way, first we have to think of the society, then we have to come down as to managing what is the environment that the kid is getting. So now comes the families, the way the parents are, how much they are educated, or whether they have the financial resources to educate. Then on a lower level, what kind of children he is around, what kind of the like basically the students around him, are they motivated or not? Then comes the individual. The student is that, does he have the required IQ? Does he have the required um, aptitude just to study or even have an interest? So I'll give you one example and you'll understand this. In India, cricket is that one sport where everybody wants to become a cricketer. Okay. With the whole thing, everybody wanting to be a cricketer, there are other sports which are neglected. Okay, and the whole of money is poured into this cricket. Okay, only few people are going to get selected, so out of crores there are just going to be 11 or 15 players that are going to actually play something. But why is it that it is still focused so much? Because you or everyone, even your father, your grandfather, everybody wants to focus on cricket. They talk about cricket. What about kabaddi? What about football? If your family there is a football fan, suppose, your kid might get interested in football. If you are interested in studying, your kid might get interested in studying. But then other people are not interested around. So why would that kid feel like that? And that is how it goes. So when we talk about blame, let leave that to the politicians and everyone. There is no such thing as blame. All we can do is we can collectively try to provide things, and after that, if the kid fails, it is not that the kid has to perform great. There might be other skills that the kid might be great at. Let's try to inquire that. Let's try to talk about that and then provide those things.
Excellent, excellent, son. Hats off to you for the last two sentences. I really appreciate that. If the child is not good in studies, the child may be, very passionate and very creative in some other field. Maybe as a sports person or in cultural events, or maybe as an innovator. You never know what is the real passion of the child or the hidden talent of the child.
Exactly.
Yes, if the child scores poor marks, that doesn't mean he or she is a bad student or a dull student or a slow learner. Just check out and see where is the potential of that child. It's a collective
Exactly.
effort. आपने कहा ना, वो मुझे
Yeah.
बहुत अच्छा लगा. Very nice.
Mhm.
So it's a collective effort.
Mhm.
Beautiful, sir. A beautiful answer. I really appreciate that you've been, giving it right from the start till the end. You were trying to, put the points together or connect the dots very well. And then you said it's a collective effort. And of course, find the hidden talent of your child. Yes. Dear sir, now what if some of the students who may view this video would like to connect with you, the youngsters who are in their, like maybe in their 11th, 12th standard, or maybe in their degree level, they would like to connect with you. How do they connect with Arjun sir?
They can connect me over Instagram. So I have an Instagram handle, psychologist underscore Arjun underscore Sahay, and Arjun has two U's. So they can message me there. Other than that, they can just connect on Unique Counseling Services. They can drop me a message there. And other than that, if somebody is going through some severe issues, they can have a session with me and we can have a talk about whatever they're going through.
Yes. So you welcome even students, the youth, the middle-aged, all. No, there's no age bar.
16 and above.
16 and above. Great. That's
Yeah,
really nice. You
because
mentioned that.
the thing is, 16 and below will come under child psychology.
Very true.
Okay. And that is a totally different area of expertise. And where I'm not an expert, I don't want to put my nose there.
Very sensible, very practical, and a very honest person too.
Okay.
Hats off to you for being like that. Great. So anybody up 16 and above, if you'd like to connect with Sir and share your thoughts and views and try to get some help from Sir, you're always welcome. Sir is always open. You could connect with Sir with the given IDs, on Instagram, and as well we'll share in the description much more about Sir's address or the means to connect with him on social media handles. Yes. Dear Sir, as you mentioned already about sports and games, you just shared all of that. Cricket and all of that we've been sharing. Were you ever interested in any of these games personally?
I would say that sports is a great way of bonding with people. Okay. And it was one of the ways I got out of a lot of bullying which happened during school. Okay. So I used to play football and I used to be great at it. And because of that, people recognized me, and a lot of bullying that was happening, I was able to escape that. So football has always been something that I really enjoy, and it actually helped me maintain my physique a lot. And these days I'm not able to play, but I still play it on video games these days.
That's really nice. So, as you've been sharing something called a term called bullying,
Yeah.
I have had so many students
Hmm.
facing this, the near
Hmm.
and dear ones,
Hmm.
in our family, in our friend circle, our clients, and of course the sharings of other students as well, because I've been in the academic sector for the past 30 years and I've seen all of this happening. We had many students coming up. Now, what
Yes.
type of bullying is the worst?
See,
Like
any kind of bullying is bad. I would not say that.
eh,
And I think it is something which we don't even realize that we might also do.
very true,
Okay. Even making fun of someone is like even saying some sarcastic remark that might hurt that person.
very true,
We just say it in the flow of the moment or just not thinking about it. But other people do have feelings and we forgot about that, and then they keep thinking about it and they take it on their self image, their like self esteem. Like suppose if somebody is being called fat or they're fat shamed, or if it
body
is
shaming,
a, yeah, body shaming, they might end up with body dysmorphia.
very
Okay,
true,
body dysmorphia is a like a clinical problem. Okay. Other than that, if somebody is made to feel bad about themselves with regards to their marks or maybe their like color, anything that can happen, even that racism might be something that might create a lot of problem. So what I've seen is that anything that is said to a person and with mean spirited intention, that hurts the psyche of the other person. And even though they might be thick skinned, but what happens is if something is said again and again, now your mind adapts it and then starts saying it to you only. So it basically they use their voice and then it becomes your voice. So each time you make a mistake and that starts going in your head that you're not good enough, you're doing something bad, and that takes away all the confidence of a person, and it really hampers the growth of a person because then their whole identity becomes about becoming powerful. and not by strength. It might be powerful through money, it might be through marks, it might be through looks, it might be through followers. It is just that the insecurity that gets created, and it is being created by someone else. To fill that void, it takes a lot of effort.
Yes. And the most common one is bullying, body shaming children, body
Yeah,
shaming their
these
friends,
days,
calling them names.
cyberbullying. These days, cyberbullying is going like something, because see, when you're online, you can be anonymous, okay, and you might see something about the person, and that is now online, and other people might chime in on that. So body shaming is there, but the way that is happening these days, it is cyberbullying.
Very true, sir.
Hmm.
Yes. So let's stay, safe and be, connected with the right kind of people. And sir, no, it is like, see, body shaming and bullying
Hmm.
and maybe whatever is the abuse
Hmm.
going on. We
Yeah.
call it as abuse, a
Hmm.
form of abuse, bullying. Now, how do we come out of it? Should we cut off these people who are toxic? As student, imagine I'm a student and I have people who are saying all of this to me. Now, what is my main job to do? Cut off
Okay.
with them and find new friends?
See, the thing is that you might be bullied not by just for your friends. It might be from people who just are not happy, and they also want to make other people miserable.
Very true.
Okay. So it's not that ki you can change anyone, you cannot control anyone else. The first thing you need to understand is that what is in your control. Okay. So most people, when they get bullied, they try to control the environment. They try to control the other person. Or when they feel that they have no control, they feel powerless. Okay. The first thing you need to realize is bullying is about a power dynamics. Okay. Power dynamics in which you have given the other person more value than you.
Hmm.
Okay.
Very true.
So that power dynamics happen because in your head, you think of yourself as less. So if somebody says that you're fat, but you have already thought that, you have agreed to that, now you are just having a person who is actually on your same team, even though they might be saying awful things, but you also think like that. So the problem here is that if you want to make things better, if you want to get out of this bullying, first you have to realize that how do you feel about yourself? And if somebody is feeling awful, the thing they should focus on is, why do I feel that way? Remove the person. Why do I feel that way? Is it because I believe that is the problem with me? Then ask yourself, can I do something about it? Can I reply back to the bully? All these things. It is more about the awareness rather than taking action. For any kind of bullying, there is a lot of insecurity which is already there in a person. It is just that the bully has noticed that insecurity and has honed in on that, and now always picks up on that. And that becomes the reason that most people who are bullied, they always feel insecure about that particular thing.
Thank you for explaining that so well with a lot of clarity.
Hmm.
So, as you are now into this beautiful space of sharing all your expertise and experience into which you
Hmm.
have already gained through all of these years.
Hmm.
Now we'll talk about alcoholism, sir. We've seen
Hmm.
several people
Hmm.
stuck in this dangerous zone of becoming alcoholics. And it's not only destroying themselves, it destroys the entire family. One person is able to knock out everybody every single day with the
Hmm. Hmm.
words, the abuses, maybe what you know what an alcoholic
Yes,
does when he
definitely.
or she returns home. Will not be
Hmm.
gender biased over here. We keep it
Hmm.
neutral. It could be anyone. Maybe across the world, there are women also who are great alcoholics and men also. So now
Definitely.
I'd like you to talk something about this, sir, and share your thoughts and views.
Okay, so the thing is, why is it that we go towards alcohol? That should be the first question. So, when we think really about it, what we realize is that alcohol is a suppressor. Okay, it removes the feelings, it removes the inhibitions that you have. So suppose I am a person who is not able to talk to a lot of people, who is like always conscious when you have to talk. Now, what happens is, suppose if I am in a social setting and there are a lot of people and I am like now constantly in my head. As soon as I take alcohol, what is going to happen? All those thoughts will be suppressed and I'm going to be able to be free. Now, what my brain does is it releases a lot of dopamine. It makes reinforces that thing that if I take alcohol, things become better for me. That is one example. If I think of in another way, suppose if I am a sad person, sad because of XYZ reason, there might be things that are constantly going on in my head. I might not be liked by the people in my office, or I might feel insecure about something. But as soon as I start taking alcohol, all those thoughts go away, and I'm not able to feel that now. So mostly if somebody is into alcoholism, the thing is that there are certain emotions that they are not ready to deal with. Okay. And when they don't deal with those emotions, they are constantly going in your head, or in, I'll say, back of your head. Those thoughts keep popping up. And you keep on taking alcohol to suppress them. So basically, what you're doing is that there is some kind of hurt. You're not treating that hurt. You are just like कि ignore कर दो, push it down, don't deal with it. Eventually, it backfires and it turns harmful towards other people also.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing. Thank you very much. So there's one more thing I'd like to discuss with you. Childhood trauma.
Mhm.
Most of the children who were children and adults now, as adults, they are suffering a lot due to childhood trauma.
Hmm.
Would you like to share something about it, sir? They're unable to forgive their parents even as
I
adults now.
understand.
Yeah,
So,
like
see, you might have understood by now when I talk about anything, I go to the core of things.
very
I
true.
break them apart and try to understand them in a better way. So, what I'll say is that when somebody is going through childhood trauma, we need to understand this thing. Why is that this person has kept all these memories still in their head? Okay. Trauma is basically all the memories which brings out a negative emotion and you keep going through them. Okay. So, to get out of childhood trauma, first the thing is that any person who, when they were a kid, they didn't have autonomy, they didn't have power, they didn't, matlab, like basically, think in this way. Your body reacts in this way when you're presented with a threat. It is fight or flight. Either you can run away or either you can fight. So, suppose some kind of things are happening around your house. Your parents might be fighting. So, either you can run away from the house, but you can't because you're a kid, or either you can like just put a hand on their face, like stop talking or something. No, you cannot do either of those things. So, the kid becomes so entangled with those things, it can either go in fight or flight, or like just fight or flight basically. But when you're not able to do either of those things, you get stuck here in the middle. That is freeze mode. Okay. When somebody is in freeze mode, what they do is they create an imagination in their head. They create all those thoughts where they might be escaping all these things. It is a way of coping, basically, of not being able to deal with the traumatic environment. They escape in their mind. So now when you're constantly going through some memories again and again, again and again, your mind becomes corrupted in a way. So your kid version still has not found the solution to the problem. Now the adult version, whenever it has those memories, it feels the same way as the kid, powerless, that threat mode, anxious about everything. And when that happens, that trauma is triggered with associations. Now, the next part of it. So, if loud noises triggered you, was the trauma. If you are in a relationship right now and you had a fight and the other person just raises their voice, that will become a another trauma. So what is happening? You're just reinforcing that old trauma again and again. So that is why most people are not able to let go of that childhood trauma, because they need to first let go of the child version of themselves. That the version was not able to do anything, but now you're able to do things. You're an adult now. You can actually deal with it. So whenever we go into therapy also, so it is not like कि बस ऐसे चुटकी बजा के हो जाएगा, but we have to make them secure, feel safe, and then let that kid out. And with compassion, we get the kid to the trauma kid to understand that you can actually deal with it now. It doesn't have to be a thing which is still a puzzle in your head.
Yes, sir. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. I'm sure, my dear friends, you are getting a lot of information on how to deal with various aspects of your life. A very informative session.
Hmm.
So, I would like you to share your thoughts and your experience and whatever you have with you at this moment to share with regard to hypervigilance. Now,
Hmm.
for me personally, I'd like to give my example. If anybody just closes the door harshly,
Hmm.
I just, it's like a startle. I'm just scared.
Hmm.
From inside, I get disturbed
Hmm.
till date.
Yeah, I totally understand.
And like that, so there are certain people out there suffering from this term called as hypervigilance. So, would you
Hmm.
like to share something on that? Do I come
Okay.
into that thing like?
No, 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 I totally understand what you're saying.
Yes.
So, I'll give you an example, you'll understand this. Suppose if I just pick you up right now and I put you in a jungle, okay? It is a totally scary place for you. There are tall trees, light is not able to come, okay? You are hearing sounds. What are you going to do? You're going to like be hyper vigilant, okay? What happens is when your nervous system is always in the threat mode, okay? So think in this way. So when you're in the jungle, your eyes are always focused. Where am I walking? What is happening? What is that thing that moved? You're always trying to hear things. Kahan se awaaz aayi? What is like the door banged or something? This is happening because your nervous system is not relaxing. Okay. So why would a nervous system not get relaxed? Because somewhere when you were growing up, you learned as soon as I put my like defenses down, something bad happens. Okay. So given an example, suppose uh, as soon as in the evening your father came, there would be chaos in the house. Okay. There might be some kind of fights or voices might be raised. So past 6 p.m., your hypervigilance will go up. Okay. You will be like, okay, you'll be sitting and studying, just say nobody says anything to you. Or you might be just constantly hearing ki kya ho raha hai, that do I need to intervene in this? So slowly what happens, your brain is just like plastic. It just accustoms to the requirement. And some things your brain thinks is necessary for living. Like otherwise I'll be dead. In it own way, it feels like मैं तो मर जाऊंगा अगर ये नहीं हुआ. So that is why the brain is always hyper vigilant. And the more hyper vigilant you are, the more you will have a less tolerance towards anxiety and stress. Okay. The reason is there are two nervous systems: fight or flight, rest and digest. Stress is not bad. Stress is like it goes up. After that, rest and digest happens and it goes down again. Then it can go up, it can goes down again. Totally fine. But when the stress is just up and it stays up, then the body slowly starts becoming एक तरह से desensitized. It stops responding to being normal. It is always in alert mode. And that's why hypervigilance is a like a direct connection to anxiety disorders. General anxiety disorder, GAD, you will always find the person being hypervigilant.
Yes, that's really nice. How beautifully you explained all of that. That's really great. Yes, sir. So now we come down to something more serious. Okay, very,
Hmm.
very serious. This is about couples.
Hmm.
And Like we've seen set of couples, or we'll take a set of couple, one set, cheating,
Hmm.
धोखा, धोखा होता है, और फिर उस रिश्ते में रहना चाहते हैं वो लोग, छोड़ना नहीं चाहते, वो भी
Hmm.
चाहिए ये भी चाहिए,
Hmm.
आजादी नहीं देते हैं, ताकि गलत है ये इंसान,
Hmm.
इस इंसान, जब ये गलत है तो ये इंसान हट जाना चाहते हैं, he or
Hmm.
she wants to move out, but this
Hmm.
person doesn't allow that.
Hmm.
He or she wants to enjoy it out and as well as
Hmm.
have something at home too.
Hmm.
So why does this happen? Why do they play this double game? Like,
Okay.
even though everything is clear, everything is known and everything is open, still when one of the spouses, I need to let go now, I can't live in this relationship because there's a breach of trust. It has happened, so I would like to move, but then the other person doesn't give consent and holds on to that person and
Hmm.
continues being who or she or he is cheating or maybe having an
Hmm.
affair out without releasing this person who would like
Hmm.
to move out and live a dignified life. So why does this happen and how to tackle it? What is the psyche behind these people who do that?
Okay, so uh, first you need to understand that there are different relationships at different ages. Okay, so suppose someone who is a young teenager, their relationship is going to be different from a person who is in their 40s. Okay, and the 40s person would have a different relationship or someone who is in their 60s. Okay, the thing is, what we need to first understand is that relationship usually has a power dynamic, or which is very sad way of understanding this, but every relationship somebody is taking the command, other person is following. Okay, and whenever you see that happening in a like a 70-30 or 80-20 version where the 80% command is with one person, they end up you doing all these things. Okay, other than that, what I'll say is that humans are a little bit self-destructive also. So suppose you are like when you were young, you were told that you have to go to college, you get a job, after that you have a family, you have kids. Now, around this time when you have everything, you start wondering, why am I doing all these things, which is also called midlife crisis. So if there is a midlife crisis happening and you don't indulge those energies in a right way or a right place, you kind of go towards a place where you get a lot of validation. This usually happens a lot with men. Okay, with women, suppose if I say around the age of 40, 45, like after 45, when the menopause and everything starts, they kind of become really hormonal, which becomes even a thing that becomes makes them sensitive. Okay, so as they become a little bit insecure, and the more the hormonal thing is, they become a little bit critical, which pushes away their partners, and the men, they kind of go towards some other place where they are being appreciated. So this is a dynamic for that menstrual age I'm talking about. So that's why I'm saying there are so many different aspects of the relationship. What age are you talking about? That would be a big significator as to what the person might be going through. Okay, so let's suppose we are talking about a couple who is in their 60s. Okay, at that time the husband or the male partner, they usually start understanding that I am going to only have this person by my side. Nobody else is going to be there. Friends are busy. Kids don't care. Everything is going to be in a like a distant. Only this person has always been there. So they become more tolerable. They become more acceptable to their partner. But same if I talk about a 20-year-old couple, they are so high on emotion that every small thing becomes a big drama for them. How could you have done that? And that becomes a reason they fight a lot. So when it is said na, that young romance hardly lasts, it's like a huge flame. which extinguishes quickly. So that is with passion, that passionate love that we feel. But rather than talking about cheating, what we can actually talk about is the way we can make relationships better. The thing is, if there is a lot, like I talk about these three C's. The three C's are criticism, complaining, and concern. Okay. So when in a relationship, there is a lot of criticism. Like if you're always criticizing the house, the partner, your life, or everything. If you're always complaining to the person that tumne ye kiya, you did this, why are you doing this? Or you're always living in the future, the concern, what if this happens? These C's makes you feel so distant and so sad as a person that other people won't be able to connect with you. So if you are always stuck in these C's, I would suggest rather go for the gratitude you can have for your life, your partner, your kids. You can appreciate the people around you. You can start being mindful and live in the moment. These are the things which are going to help a relationship rather than seeing the worst case scenario. But when, well, like the question you asked, that if somebody has cheated, I'm just going to say this, that if your trust has been broken, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of transparency that can build that trust again. And usually, I would suggest the couple to go for couples therapy, because there would be a person who would be better able to make them communicate their problems, their insecurities. Why did they do certain things? And I'm pretty much sure that if they go for couples counseling, at least they will understand the other side of the story. They will not be too much
Correct.
focused on themselves. Yeah.
So, once a cheater, always a cheater. ये ऐसा हमने सुना.
No, nothing like that.
I've heard that always
Yeah.
people say
Mm,
that we've read
mm,
many
mm,
stories and many
mm,
true incidents too. Once a cheater,
mm,
always a cheater. They will if माफ कर दिए दोबारा करके दिखाएंगे, फिर माफ करे फिर दोबारा दोबारा अपने असलियत या अपने रंग फिर दिखाएंगे.
mm, mm,
Irrespective of gender, we are sharing this. तो जितने बार आप माफ करोगे अपने पार्टनर को, उतने बार आपको धोखा देते जाएंगे. I
mm,
have seen many of my clients who have shared this with me with tears in their eyes,
mm,
and mostly women, because I
mm,
mostly take counseling for
mm,
women compared to men, and
mm,
they are very comfortable with me.
mm,
And I too feel comfortable like having it with the women, sharing it with them.
mm,
So यहाँ पर जितने बोलते हैं मैडम जितने बार हम माफ करें उतने बार हमको यही this happens to me. So then
mm.
what do we do in this situation? Should we stay? Should we move? And they are really stuck up in their head. They don't know how to take a decision for themselves.
So when you are talking about women who have been cheated on regularly, first thing we should be asking them that why is it that they are still stuck in this relationship?
Right.
Because you don't have any trust in your partner, so you don't feel safe. First thing is obvious that you don't feel safe. So if you're still stuck there, there is some kind of financial liability or
Very
something
true.
else.
Very true.
Is there any kind of insecurity that you have about yourself, that you might not find anyone else, or most women don't want to be lonely? That is one of the reasons. But what I usually say is that our mind works in this way: known demon is better than
Unknown.
unknown angel.
Very true. A known devil
And
is better than an unknown angel.
yeah, so the thing is, when any person who thinks even about leaving the relationship, they won't be able to comprehend the whole life after that. So what happens is that when they start thinking in that direction, they just panic. They get so scared, and they want that somehow the person changes, so that I don't have to go through all this all over again. But that also becomes the reason that the other person, their partner, is able to cheat on them, because somewhere they know there is no consequences. You're not going to do anything.
Very true.
So when any female who has gone through any kind of trauma like this, they have been cheated on, I would suggest that maintain a distance. Let your partner know what loneliness feels like, what they have made them feel in even in a relationship, how a broken trust of a person makes you feel. You will soon realize that as you maintain a distance, you would be able to heal yourself in a different way, because there is a concept called blue dot effect. Okay. And in this, what happens when there was the psychologist who, just minute, the
Yes.
psychologist who kind of did this experiment. And in that experiment, what they did was that they kind of had the screen in which there were many colors. Okay. And in that they had to select the blue dot. Okay. So when they started doing that, they first were correct, but soon after they started selecting wrong dots, sometimes purple, sometimes black. Okay. The psychologists were fascinated, and what they did was they started putting faces there, six faces, and they had to select the angry ones. Okay. At first the participants were able to select the right one, but soon after they started selecting the normals one. So what ended up happening, it was discovered that when we think about a problem, when we keep trying to solve a problem, our mind just starts feeling that everything is a problem.
Very true. Very true.
So when you think that your partner or your relationship is the problem, you think your whole life is the problem. You have to just leave your relationship, not leave the partner. You just have to stop thinking about the relationship and focus on other things that are good in your life, or at least make them better in your life. Then you can focus on these things.
Yes, sir. Very
Hmm.
beautifully explained and with a lot of clarity. And you've given that example, the blue dot effect. I mean,
Yes.
that one. And you've given a lot of tips as to how
Hmm.
to understand to deal with yourself. If one area of your life doesn't work well, that's not the end of your life. There are many other areas and zones where you could really uplift yourself and
Hmm.
face life. Life is beautiful. Live it to the fullest.
Yes.
Yes, excellent, sir. As you mentioned, color.
Hmm.
There are certain people who are now interested into this new term called as color psychology. Would you like to share something about that, sir?
So, not just color, there are frequencies, there are things like there are certain objects, there are certain uh, for the simplest example, I'll say when you go to a temple, church, or any place which is like religious in nature, what happens is there is a certain aura there. Okay. And our brain perceives that as a like a very cleansing place. Okay. Same way, there are certain colors. Like just if you see behind me, there is yellow color. Yellow is used for like bright. It is like usually construed as happy color, whereas blue is considered a depressing color. Okay. So your mind also associates colors with different things, and it is uh, for a certain amount, it is common for most people, but according to your experiences, that might also change. Yeah. So, like, suppose black is considered not a very good color, but some people associate very fondly with it because it kind of makes them feel that they can hide in it. It protects them. So that is a different thing. Same with this with sounds. When you hear a very pleasant tone at a certain frequency, it relaxes your body. And other thing, other like when you go to a concert or some music band or something is playing, that is a high energy vibrations. So your body also gets hyped up. So that is the different areas. But
I'd like to,
since
yes, sorry,
yeah, yeah,
sorry for
since I'm
interrupting.
not an expert in that, so I'm not going to the details. But the more I know, I just want to say all these things. Right?
Yeah. I would like to ask you about red. Do you have
Yeah,
any idea? As you have spoke about yellow and
yeah.
blue, black,
Hmm.
red के बारे में बता सकते हैं? Because
Red
that is
is
my favorite
red
color.
is a
One of my
passionate
favorite
color.
colors.
Yeah, see, whenever somebody talks about red, Like let's talk about astrology. Okay, so red is like associated with Mars. Okay, Mars is a like an action planet, a passionate planet. Okay, so people who are really attracted to red, they will be more action oriented. They will want to do things. They are using their hands more, and they are very emotional creatures also. They will feel things to a very great extent. So those are the things.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing. It's somewhat like I could relate to all of that. That's really
Yeah.
nice. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
And you shared all the positives. Thank you. I thought maybe there would be some negative. This even red is like so has some negativity to it.
Everything has negativity in it.
How
Why to
sweet.
focus on that?
Yes, that's really nice. See, this is the
Mm,
way to be positive. Look at the positive things in life. Look
mm,
on the brighter side of life. Life is beautiful.
mm,
Yes, sir. Dear sir,
mm.
how many languages are you proficient in apart from English and Hindi? और कितने भाषाएं आती है आपको?
I am really not a good, I'm really not good with languages. And I'll say that I'm good in English and my Hindi is not that great. Okay. Matlab, I'm not able to write it properly. So I'm like confused with the matras and all. So I'll say that I'm only proficient in one language, that is English.
मात्रा के बारे में if you share मात्रा छोटी या बड़ी how many times we've made mistakes, you know,
I
especially
I never understood this. So like even my teachers really scolded me a lot for that. I
same
used to like just put anything. जो मेरा मन कर रहा है उस टाइम पे वो वाली मात्रा भी चलेगी.
सेम सेम हमारा भी यही केस था कैसे तो भी पास हो गए हिंदी और वो जो भी सेकंड लैंग्वेज था हमारे लिए कन्नड़ा था और हिंदी
Hmm.
so all the matras like yes
Hmm.
that I think is based on pronunciation maybe the matras.
I think I really want a person who is good at Hindi who can explain me all these things because that bindi, adan, all those things, I'm not able to understand why are those things there. Hello, your voice is.
Yeah, I muted myself.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I muted myself. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. We go on with the next question.
Hmm,
If you were given a time machine in your hand and
hmm,
you were asked to click one of the buttons and that would take you immediately into the past era, there you
hmm,
have to relive somebody's life and come back. It's only a task. If
hmm,
that was the case, whose life you would love to relive and come back?
hmm. Newton
Reason?
or Michelangelo,
Mm-hmm.
Da Vinci. These are the people. These were people who had skills in so many different things. I really want to know what goes on in their mind. So if I have to live a life, I would rather go for Da Vinci or Michelangelo because they were good sculptures. They could create paintings. They were creating signs and all those things. So I would want to know how these people or that level of intellect, how does that work?
That's really nice. Creative. You, the
Yeah.
creative aspect, right? That's really nice.
Exactly. Because see, when we talk about creativity, it has to do with a lot of electrical signals which goes on in your head. They are basically when we even think of a thought, it lights up a certain areas in your head. So when a person is so creative that they can do so many things, they can see the world in so different ways, their mind would be really at a different level.
Yes. Thank you. Now, sir, as a psychologist, what are your thoughts and views and the experiences that you have, the knowledge that you have with regard to constructive criticism? Because many of us can't take it at face value. We can't do that. If anyone says something, they are a bad person to us. चाहे अपना भलाई के लिए कुछ कोई बोले हमको या
Hmm.
समझाए, we take it in the negative sense. So, what is constructive criticism in simple terms? If you can share it from your side, it could really help all of our viewers and us, me too.
See, there is no such thing as constructive criticism. It is just everything we think and we project onto the other.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll explain it in this way. Suppose you're sitting and there is a panel of five people, and each one get to see a certain version of your life. And now they have to critique it. everyone would have a different opinion about it. Okay, but their opinion would be the thing they relate with, their projection about themselves. So
Very
if
true.
somebody saw that you were being angry, so it is somewhere inside them, they have witnessed anger or they are an angry person, they will talk about that. So when somebody is telling something ना कि तुम में ये प्रॉब्लम है, वो अपनी प्रॉब्लम तुम पे थोप रहे एक तरीके से.
जी 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 बढ़िया है very nice very true it's there's some hidden truth in what you've shared like that's really true the projection
Always everything that we talk about, if you want to, like you listen to a lot of stories, okay, to the people you talk to, whatever they talk is just a story that they have created in their head. And whatever they talk about is just a projection of how they have lived their life or how do they think of life. So suppose if somebody is being really like really critical about things, okay, so somewhere they have lived their life quite a critical way, they have always looked at the negatives. Or if somebody who is these days like doubting everything, so I'll say that they have their trust broken a lot. So now they have adopted this doubt as a method of living. So everything that a person says is a projection of how they think or perceive the world.
yes very true very nice thank you for sharing much appreciated sir
Hmm.
अभी एक बड़ा सा मेन क्वेश्चन उसके बाद में we'll have this small segment called as the rapid fire round
Sure.
this is about माफी
Yeah.
क्या कहना चाहेंगे सर माफी के बारे में
बढ़िया है, एकदम अच्छी चीज है. माफी बताए, एक फनी चीज बताता हूँ माफी के साथ. माफी मांगने वाले को पता नहीं होता वो माफी क्यों मांग रहा है, और माफी देने वाले के अंदर उसे वो वाली जो वो फीलिंग से बचना चाह रहा है, वो फीलिंग जाती नहीं है. तो माफी कहाँ हुई वो चीज? मतलब आप ऐसे समझिए कि अगर मैंने कोई चीज हर्ट करी, कुछ ऐसा बोल दिया जो आपको हर्ट हुआ, मुझे पता भी नहीं आपकी कौन सी फीलिंग हर्ट हुई है, आप बस हर्ट हुए हो. समझ रहे हो ना? when somebody gets hurt, they need to understand what emotions they have gone through. Like कि मेरा ऐसा क्या ट्रिगर हुआ that made me feel so awful. So when you are able to tell that to the person, they can actually apologize. हाँ यार, ये मतलब तो नहीं था मेरा तुम्हारे लिए.
बट
So
थोड़े लोग हैं ना इंटेंशनली बोलते हैं सर छुपाने के लिए ना तो
बिल्कुल
वो
बोलेंगे.
फेंकना है जहां पर फेंकना है वहां पर जो एरो वहीं वहीं पर दे विल हर्ट यू
बिल्कुल. सी अगर आपके अंदर बहुत सारे ओपन वुंड्स हैं,
जी
ठीक
जी
है, it shows on your face the way you talk. So agar suppose you are like really insecure about your financial status, suppose, so somebody might just notice कि अरे तुम्हारी गाड़ी ये पुरानी लग रही है ना, that will hurt you so much. बोला अरे मेरा मतलब नहीं था, मैं तो सिर्फ गाड़ी बता रहा था, something like that.
ये तो सच बात है सच्ची बात है सर व्हिच यू हैव शेयर्ड
Hmm.
एंड इन
Hmm.
दिस केस वन पर्सन किसी ने कहा ऐसा आपका गाड़ी ऐसा कुछ समथिंग दैट पर्सन स्पेंड 12 lakhs and bought
Of
a
course.
new car he has taken the loan unknowingly to the family bought
Hmm.
a lovely car of 12 lakhs and now paying the
Hmm.
EMI बोझ
Hmm.
बन गया वो अभी EMI so this is I can relate to all of what you're sharing now with that
Hmm.
incident which
Hmm.
I've got to know that
That
it
would
happened roundabout in 2021 this incident
be.
and then we asked why did you buy this car then that person said no he degraded me regarding this so and so and then I had to go for it I don't know what's the brand of that car that was like I can't get the name too yes
Don't
leave it
worry.
at
And I
that
understand what you must have gone through.
yeah. Yes, sir. So now we come now around to a small segment called as the rapid fire round. It was a very interesting
Yes.
session with you,
Hmm.
getting to know more about your professional skills and how
Hmm.
deep you are into transforming lives.
Hmm.
Very, very healthy session we've had to getting to know more about the professional, the field of, which you are into, that is psychology, and how deep you have knowledge about it, and how you could be
Hmm.
helpful to others and to the
Hmm.
people whoever would like to come down and get connected with Arjun sir. You're most welcome. Sir will definitely be the greatest guide in your life. Yeah. There will be many
You're
others
being
too.
too kind.
No, there will be many others too. But then if people connect with you, because you shared a lot, professional expertise and all the professional skills that you've had, you've shown your talent out. You've shown your the your metal. You proved your metal very well, because I asked you questions center, right, and left. I was shooting you the questions, and you've really done a great job. So yes, people will observe this and they will connect. Yes, this is the right person. I may go, or maybe he or she is the right person. They will connect with you, and I would love you get connected with Arjun sir for whatever situation you're facing. You want any counseling or a one-to-one situation, one-to-one counseling session
Session.
you could have. Yes.
Yeah.
So you would like to share something?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Just please go ahead.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel bad in the middle. I interrupt. Sometimes I feel
No,
bad.
no, no, no.
Awful
I'm
sometimes.
totally fine.
So now we'll have a small segment called as the rapid fire round, which will just take 10 minutes to get to know your likes and dislikes. अब
Yeah.
तो professional हो गई, थोड़ा सा
Hmm.
बस. ठीक है ना
Hmm.
sir? So friends, join me on this beautiful session called as the rapid fire round to get to know about the likes and dislikes of our special guest. Sir, you should answer just in one word or
Okay.
2 words. छोटी सी answers.
Mhm.
Favorite month,
September.
favorite day of the whole week.
None. No
Like
favorite
any
day.
day.
Every day is equal. I don't have any like
No
particular
specific.
favorites. Yeah.
Favorite
September,
number,
that's because it's my birthday. That's why.
September.
Yeah.
Date बता सकते हैं ताकि we can wish you from the international
19.
Fabtalks
19.
19. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So, and then you say all the days are equal.
Yeah.
Number? Which favorite number?
19.
Oh, great. That's nice.
Actually, I had 07 in my head. It
Mhm.
is my wife's birthday, so I would suggest that.
When you said 07, I was like James Bond
No, no, no,
007.
no.
It was like,
Just my wife's birthday.
yes, that's really nice. Sending a lot of love to your whole family from the International Fab Talks. Yes, you really have a gem at home, my dear friends, and your family members. You're a gem, an asset to the society, and of course to your family too. Dear sir,
Thanks.
the insect that you don't like,
Lizards.
your favorite breakfast,
Anything which has egg and tea.
egg and tea.
Yeah, anything regarding an egg dish and tea.
So I was to ask you a question: is it tea or coffee? तो वो नहीं पूछूंगी मैं
No,
अभी. I will not ask you. Done. That's
like
already answered.
I like coffee more, but because it's a stimulant, it messes up with your brain a lot. So I avoid coffee.
I'm a coffee pot, you know. I have a lot of coffee. मैंने अभी पिया यहाँ पे. I just had mine 1 hour back. You say it's not good to have coffee, sir?
See, the thing is that there it is a stimulant for the body. Okay, stimulant as in that it raises the energy of the body. So if you're not running, jogging, and you're not doing anything which requires a lot of activity, what would you do with all that energy? It will go directly to your brain. And when that goes into your brain is going to be wired, like hyperactive. So that is going to create a lot of problems.
Really true. When I have a little coffee, I really feel very active and, I feel alert. So I'm going to
Yeah,
transform it to tea now. I'm going to go.
exactly. See, when people say na, that they are not able to sleep after coffee, it is because their mind is like jacked up right now. If you do a lot of exercise or do something, you'll feel sleepy after a coffee also.
I like this word, jacked up. That's really nice. So it sounds funny to me. So, एक सुंदर सा दिन एक शब्द में.
Where I'm totally able to be mindful and I get to talk to people who have like wonderful new things to tell me that raises my consciousness to a next level.
अगर मैं एक शब्द में पूछूं तो एक ही शब्द में.
Video games.
Oh, great. Yes. When you help others, do you expect
I
anything
don't,
in return?
I don't help others.
You don't help others.
No, the concept of helping others means that you are doing something where you are not getting anything in return. Whenever you do something, you get something in return. How can you help anyone? Even if I talk to you, I'm feeling good right now. How am I helping you? If I
Great.
talk to a client, they will give me money for it. So how is that going to help me? Like I am helping anyone.
Right.
You
It's a
don't
give
help
and take.
anyone. You just, yeah, everything is give
Very
and take. So you don't
nice.
help. It is just a thing that we do.
That's a different concept, like which you've shared now. Yes, that's a rare concept. I appreciate that too. Yes, sir. City, village, or a town?
Uh, Town, I would say, middle.
Roadways, railways, waterways, airways.
Roadways, the airways, waterways,
First, first.
roadways. I like to be the passenger in a drive. I don't like to drive that much, but I like to be a passenger.
That's really nice. Your favorite season?
Winters.
Yes, sir. Thank you for sharing.
Hmm.
We both have a cough. Even I have a cough, and I think that's all over
Yeah,
the
due to
place.
the flu season that is going on.
Very true. So, if it were, are you a sweet tooth person?
Yeah,
Your
a
favorite
lot.
sweet?
I would eat anything which has a chocolate in it. So I am like really fond of chocolates. Chocolate pastry or like chocolate lava cake. I like anything with chocolate. I just like it.
Yes, sir. Uh, Apart from being a great psychologist, do you have this life skill, cooking?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I cannot cook, but I can make Maggie and bread and egg, only these things. So people are welcome for breakfast. Other than that, I'm not going to be a good help.
Yes, very honest on that. So,
Mm.
are you an early riser, an early bird, or a night owl?
Night owl.
Is it more salty, sweet, spicy, or sour food?
I would say sweet
Sweet.
and a little bit of mixed.
Life is all about money or happiness from the
Neither.
perspective of a psychologist.
Neither. Uh, you cannot always be happy, and money is just required to a certain limit. After that, it becomes meaningless.
Very true. This is very right. After a certain point, it becomes meaningless. So, when you're all alone, अकेले है, कोई भी नहीं है आपके पास, friends, your relatives, or maybe clients or family members, अकेले हैं एक कमरे में, वहां पर gadgets भी नहीं है, किताबें भी नहीं है, बस आप एक
Hmm.
कुर्सी पे बैठे हैं, तो you're
Hmm.
connected to your thoughts. वो कुछ
Hmm.
भी नहीं कर सकते. Either you start staring at something, and
Hmm.
then you slowly start thinking. I mean, where
Hmm.
do your thoughts take you? In the past, future,
Usually, I
or
don't
present?
have that many thoughts because I have meditated a lot. Not even meditated, I have focused a lot. But if I'm alone and I'm not doing, the thing that you expressed, I would do it a lot. It is always to create a new theory about things. It is to understand something. It is usually to break down a certain concept and understand to the bare bones of things.
Perfect. A lovely answer.
Hmm.
So, is it socializing or me time? What would you
Me
prioritize?
too, always. Um, Problem for my wife.
Yes, sir. I get that. So, घर का खाना, बाहर का खाना.
Uh, my mom is a great cook,
Mhm.
and anything that I can eat out, she can cook it much better at home. So I tell her, please don't make anything so I can actually go out and enjoy the food outside.
So she will get some rest too. That's really nice.
No,
That's
no,
good.
yeah, it is not like that she cooks daily, but whatever she makes, it is so
Taste.
amazing. Yeah, she can make anything. She can make a pizza, she can make a burger, anything. And that's why I like asked her specifically, please mat banao, क्योंकि मैं खाता रहूँ.
Gee, gee, how sweet of you. Lots of love and respect to your mom too. That's really nice. So, is it experiential learning or theoretical learning?
Experiential.
In your personal case, where did you
I
learn a lot?
I am always going to go for experience because see, I'm not much of a reader. I Everything that I've talked about is through the experiences I have. And that is why, like, even though I have friends who read a lot, they come to the same conclusion that I have, and I have come through experience. So my way would be experience, but I don't say that the learning route is bad either.
Yes.
It is
Which,
just a route.
sorry.
It is just a route, any route you take, but mine is experiential.
Yes. So, a beach or a forest, what would you choose?
Beach,
Song or dance?
neither.
Walking, a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler?
Walking,
Music or a book?
I'll say book.
Till date, the greatest gift or the best gift that you ever received?
I'm really bad with this. So a lot of people have given me letters of appreciation, but what I'll say is that once my wife wrote me a beautiful letter and it had a lot of emotions, that was a great gift for me.
So nice.
Hmm.
That's so. Do you like only to receive gifts or you like to give gifts as well?
I'm not a big gift giver. I am never able to understand what to give to people. So I say to people, don't give me anything, please, because when
मुझे
I
भी
have to,
देना पड़ेगा.
no, when I return the favor, it would be so shitty that you will feel like ये कौन है?
It's so humorous the way you put it, but yes, there's a lot of honesty with what you've shared. But so today we'll compel you to give us 3 gifts.
Okay, so first thing would be start appreciating things that are in your life and the people in your life. Be really mindful even when you eat or talk or when you're even doing any simple things. The more you spend time in your head, the more of your life is being wasted. And do a little bit of physical activity, even though it might not be a lot. Don't do it for getting fit or anything. Just do a little bit of physical activity. If you do these 3 things, you will be a happy person.
Excellent, sir. Thank you very much for sharing all of that. Much appreciated. It was really a very, very healthy conversation that we had today on the International Fab Talks. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. And I'm glad that got to meet you, and I should thank Shraddhanjali ma'am, and I should thank all of the others who allow us to bond and connect across the globe.
Thank you,
Much
man.
respect to you and to all your family members and your loved ones too.
Thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful to talk to you. It was like a very pleasant experience, and you have a very good way of communicating and asking questions. So I'm like really glad that I could be a part of this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the respect and your politeness as well. You're a gentleman. Continue to be that, and wishing you lots of success in all your future endeavors.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Take
My
care.
dear friends, with this, we come to an end to the International Fab Talks 4. Now we'll be connected with you very soon. Stay blessed and stay safe. Stay connected.